Bushcraft 101, page 64. Further processing or to collect firewood. When limbing a tree, always stand on the opposite side of the trunk from the limb you intend to cut. That way, the axe can never strike you. To limb a tree that is lying on the ground, always cut from the back of the limbs, connection to the tree, not into the crotch or apex of the connection. Splitting into the crotch will often cause the tree to split and not clean cut the branch. Bucking and notching. Cutting logs for splitting, bucking, or notching them with an axe so they can be used in construction is usually done with a saw by jacking by tripod. Jacking by tripod means using a tripod to support the area to be cut so that you have a free hanging end of the log or branch, and so that the blade doesn't stick in the cut. When bucking logs with an axe, use a V notch and roll the log to make 4 cuts, completing the separation. When cutting a notch in the log, you should actually stand on top of the log to make your cuts if possible. If the log diameter is too small to stand on comfortably, stand opposite to the side you are cutting. Never make the cut on top of the log, but always on the sides to avoid errant glances that could cause injury. Batoning the axe. For purposes of making slats, planks, or shingles, fashion a large baton so you can use the blade of the axe in place of a froe, F-R-O-E. That means a froe is a flat metal cutting blade attached to a handle. It's used with a baton to make thin splits of plank wood when making shingles. As with the tomahawk head, this will allow you to use the axe head in a more controlled fashion as a wedge for splitting off these items from a heavily grained hardwood or cedar. Page 65. Axe care and sharpening. As with any tool, your axe needs tender, loving care to remain at peak efficiency. This includes storage, maintenance, and blade sharpening. Here are some basics of axe care. Handle care. When you purchase an axe, pay particular attention to the handle's grain. Handles should be made of hickory and have a straight grain running the length of the handle with no runouts to the outer edges. Runouts can cause the handle to split during use. There should be no knots within the handle. Sapwood handles are better than hardwood, but a mix of both is okay. Treat your handle with linseed oil to seal it after use, as the finish will wear and it will be susceptible to drying out and possibly cracking. How often you do this depends on humidity, temperature, and use. axe head. Caring for the head of your axe is no different than caring for any other high carbon tool. It will rust, so it must be kept lubricated. Again, I generally use olive oil for this purpose, although I would rarely use my axe for any food processing. It keeps things consistent in caring for all my tools and metal gear. Sharpening. Just as with a knife, there are several tools to use when sharpening or honing an axe. A carborundum stone with medium and fine grit sides will take care of 95% of your needs. And you can carry a small one in the field. Lansky makes a tool called the puck that is a fine and medium two-sided sharpening tool about the size of a hockey puck. It works very well. As with whetstones, I prefer to use water and not oil as a lubricant for the puck. When using this type of stone, make circular strokes.